Today, we're going to be talking about replaying games. How often do you replay games? How do you feel about replaying games? What counts as a replay?
X to interact.
You're listening to X to Interact.
Hi, and welcome to episode 65 of X to Interact. I'm your host, Gaff. I know it's been a while, but hello again. And that means we got the full crew here today with me, Sam, Steven, and Eric. Today, we're going to be talking about replaying games. How often do you replay games? How do you feel about replaying games? What counts as a replay? But before we get to that, first let me make sure to tell you to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitter, Instagram, and you can go to podpage.com/x2interact where all these links are together. You can find them all easily. Make sure to tune in to our YouTube every Tuesday and look at your podcast feed every Tuesday where we post our podcasts, which are recorded every week on Sunday. So before we get into the meat of things, first I just want to say hello guys. I missed you all. It's been a while. I think it's been like 3 weeks. I had COVID since the last time I seen you guys. I think the last time I talked to you guys was the Mistborn spoiler cast, which does feel like a long time ago. And I really thought Sam would have finished the second book by now, and that would have been a cool return. But no, he hasn't.
I've finished the first
Part?
Yes.
Oh my god. And since the last time I've been here, I bought a new computer. I bought the new MacBook Air. Still waiting for that in the mail. And I might as well just transition into crossplay then, what games we've been playing, because guys, guess what? I've played a new game.
Holy shit.
Something other than Halo? Gasp.
But it's not even like a new game. It's an old new game. I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy on Game Pass. Because Xbox, they had their 3 months for a $1 promotion again, so I snagged that. And since I'm off work for a week, I decided to try to get back into the swing of playing games. Guardians of the Galaxy. So all I've been hearing about from this game and from you guys is that this thing is game of the year material. It's like the best thing since sliced bread.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it.
Hot take.
I'm not at game of the year material yet.
Mm-hmm.
I like this game. I like this game a bunch. It's definitely very fun. The combat is nothing. It's not super complicated, which I'm glad, because when I saw that you can control all your teammates through button commands, I got a little overwhelmed. But no, it's pretty simple. You press left bumper, time slows, and you can pick whatever you want them to do. Wait for the cooldowns, and then you can do it again. Controlling Star-Lord himself is pretty simple. I like the reload mechanic, kind of like in Gears of War, where you press the button in that little window and you can reload much faster.
Yeah.
But so with all that said, like the combat feels like almost too simple actually, and maybe I'm just not getting it.
It's too easy.
Okay.
The whole
so it's not just me.
The whole game's too easy. Yeah. But the
I feel like I'm
the
just
worst part.
shooting them.
Yep.
It's serviceable.
And there's like a melee attack, which I feel just puts me like into danger whenever I try to use it. So
yeah, don't melee.
I feel like I shouldn't try to use melee.
What difficulty are you playing on? Sorry.
Just normal.
Okay.
Just normal. So if combat's the weakest part, then I guess that's good news, because I'm really enjoying like everything surrounding it. Like this game is pretty. Outside of, I mean, yeah, there's some jank with the character models, but with the environments themselves are pretty stunning. Like the planet you visit, not even planet, but the junkyard that you visit in the very first mission is like filled with like blacks and like these like magentas and bright reds. It's very stunning.
It gets
and then
better too.
We go to what?
It gets better than that. Like that's
Yeah, it just keeps going. Like the water planet, you have all these puddles and get your nice ray tracing there with the reflections, and going to Lady Hellbender's castle. Very large, imposing castle with all these reds. Um, it's it's a surprisingly pretty game, and I'm glad I'm playing on the Series X. Started on performance mode just to see what happens. 60 frames per second is nice, but switching to ray tracing mode, I stopped noticing the half frame rate, and I appreciated just how aesthetically pleasing everything was. And for the story, I'm I'm on chapter 8, and I feel like we're just starting to see what the conflict is. The Nova Corps, they're getting possessed by this culty thingy, and um so I mean I suppose that's new, and and the characters, like the team themselves, they're really good. Their dynamic and rapport is as good as they should be. I mean, sure, on par with the movies, right? Which is what 99% of the general public knows the Guardians of. Um, like I don't miss the movie versions at all. Like I have identified these characters, and like they're great all on their own. I really enjoyed the ability to choose what dialogue you're gonna say at certain points, and I'm waiting to see the consequences of my dialogue choices. But so far it's just fun picking and choosing what I want to say. And music, yeah, of course it's great whenever you do the huddle up mechanic in combat. I mean, it feels kind of jank sometimes too.
Yeah.
And I wish it was faster, because you kind of have to wait for it to load, and you gotta wait for the characters to like say something, and then you gotta reply. It takes like 30 seconds out of the fight.
And they like it's jarring sometimes when you're getting in the groove of things. You're getting like that huge combo meter and stuff, and then they're like, "It's ready," and you're like, "Oh, dude, should I press it? It's ready." You're like, "I want to hear a cool song while I'm playing this really cool fight," but
I
then
played
it
on
messes with the
PC.
pacing.
Mine was pretty like snappy. Like it was
Well,
kind of quick.
For me, it's like it's jarring, like the pacing, right? Like you stop to do this, and they all approach you, and then you get back in it. But it is a cool
It's
idea.
ridiculous.
Like, but I think maybe that's the point, right? Like you're stopping everything
stupid,
you're
but
doing to huddle, right? Yeah,
it's supposed to be dumb. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I've experienced some bugs. Twice now I've experienced like bugs that wouldn't let me progress the game. I had to reload to the last checkpoint. One of which was I was doing the huddle up, and they refused. My team refused to like speak, so I couldn't get out of it. So there's definitely some jank in this game that I guess it's been like, has it been over a year? You still haven't fixed.
Not quite a year. I think it was like October last year or something.
Okay. But it's a Game Pass game, and I think if you paid full price for it, I don't think that would have been egregious. It would have been a fine purchase. Yeah. So the fact that I'm playing on Game Pass like just elevates it for me. So I'm having a good time. I'm looking forward to finishing it, and it's a longer game than I would have thought.
Long.
Yeah,
just wait. It drags on.
It gets there, dude. Let's say the writing never fails, so that does carry you through. So yeah.
But it does get a little long near the end. But like Steven said, the writing,
17 hours.
They never fail.
It's 1,000% worth it to see it all the way through, though. So
yeah.
The ending.
The end of that game is just like, oh, I thought this was like gonna be the sequel.
Yeah.
I guess we're just doing this now.
That's fun.
I can't wait to figure out what you guys are saying. All right. Steven, what you been playing?
Let's see. I've been playing a lot of Fall Guys. That's been pretty fun. And then 2 nights ago, Sam and I played a first serious attempt at Sea of Thieves. that was
Arg.
that was tons of fun. We had a successful voyage. We
Got our asses
got our
killed
asses
as well.
kicked, but it wasn't the beginning of a voyage, right? So it didn't matter that much, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't have a whole lot of treasure that time. There was a time where he had said, "Oh, you've played this game before," because I, totally, instead of, I can't remember what we ran into something because I forgot to raise the sails, or was it lower the anchor?
No, you forgot to drop the anchor and ran into
Oh,
that
we
island.
and we also totally missed the dock a couple times.
That one was the one I was like, really? Come on, Steve.
Look,
you set it down way too early, and then I was like, raise the anchor a little bit so we can get closer.
Everybody,
and then we move, and he fucking just goes way past the dock, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I'll say, man, everybody in Sea of Thieves has their role, right? You've got the Sea Dog, which is me, who's just like the swashbuckler who just goes onto enemy ships and tries to mess them up and fights all the things and whatever. Then you've got the captains, which is you, it feels like. And you've got the first mates that take care of the sails,
Does
navigation.
The captain steer the ship?
I think so.
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
In the movies,
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah, at least in what we're told, right? For media. So, if well, you are whatever the wheel steerer is.
I'm trying to think. I guess Edward Kenway does steer the ship.
So is Jack Sparrow.
Yeah,
I think
so, man. So
does he? Yeah, I guess he does.
Captain Sam.
I mean, there's definitely points where he does.
In Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora's the one who drives the ship, so
Is he the captain though?
maybe.
God damn it.
Not.
Well, that doesn't help.
I mean, he's with Captain Jack Sparrow, so I don't know. Maybe they're co-captains. Who knows?
Ooh, that's true.
Captain, my co-captain. I just feel it's really fun. And wait, did we run into a Kraken when we played?
No.
Shit. Who was I playing with?
Was that last night?
No.
Or you played with Jacob like a few weeks ago?
Yeah, maybe that was it, but I don't know. Running into the Kraken is crazy. Last night with Jacob, though, we ran into a Megalodon, and it was on the way.
Meg.
It was on the way from beating a vault, which is like an involved gold hoarders. Like you solve a puzzle, you follow a compass, which takes you to one island, and then another one, and you're piecing together this map of where this final like vault of gold and like Indiana Jones style. There's a trap in it when you enter the vault. You have a certain amount of time before the water fills this cavern, and you have to find these medallions to solve this puzzle, and get as much like treasure chests out of the cavern before you die. Really cool. Can't wait till I unlock that for my reputation to get those voyages, because that's one of the more fun ones. And there's another one with the merchants now that you can go, like, reminds me of when you go in the diving bell in Assassin's Creed, and you're just pulling things out from underneath. But in this one, right, you have a certain amount of air, which I guess you did in that game too, but this is just you drown. You're not in a diving bell. You're swimming down. Yeah, you just, if you're down there too long, man. So you have to kind of work with your team and just toss stuff up, right, and trade places to get before the ship. I don't know if anything happens with the ship, but before you drown, essentially, you're going down there to discover like shipping manifests, to get like secret trade routes and spices and things like that, which is what you turn in to get reputation. They've done a lot to the game to improve like what you're doing. There's so much to do in the game now, so it is a good time to jump in to Sea of Thieves. I will say it. For anyone grouping up, make sure you know who your captain is before you're sailing, because that can cause a lot of tension. Yeah, because if you have two captain type personalities on there, you have to establish the roles there, because
I plead the fifth.
Well, we're Sam and Jacob fighting.
Yeah. It's not really fighting. It's just like they got into a tussle about it, and And Sam was like, I'm just tired or something. And he played Tales of Arise or I don't know what
And
the
then I
reason
went and
was.
played Tales of Rise.
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah. And Jacob's like, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. It was all fun.
That's funny.
It was whatever. The next day we'll play Sea of Thieves or something again. It was a fun time, but it was interesting to deal with, right? You have to figure out because Jacob he's one of the people who definitely is the captain type who wants to make sure things are running by his ship, right? So Sam is that other type of personality
Yeah, well,
where
Sam runs a pizza store in real life.
That's
so
what I'm saying. Like he also runs
Bitch, I'm a
things.
manager.
He also runs things, right? And so you have that conflicting personality type, and it's interesting to see in video games, right? Interesting to see it played out on a ship, right? And then there's mutiny because Sam just jettisons himself from the Discord. But he was just tired because I think he was playing Fall Guys before that. So
I don't want to talk about that either.
All right.
yeah,
Teammates are fucking stupid.
I'll kick it over to Sam because
Yeah, Sam, how much Fall Guys have you been playing?
Too much. Way too much. I'm 100 on the battle pass, so I finished that.
Sheesh.
I did that when I was playing with Steven on Friday night.
Yep.
Steven was there for Fall Guys Fridays, the thing that Eric came up with but refuses to be a part of.
Bro, I was out of the house on Friday.
What about Saturday?
Saturday. I was home yesterday.
Oh, fuck.
Lots of Fall Guys.
Okay.
I have completed all the events. The last event is fucking so stupid. It's like squads, which the squad's fine. Just the reward is like a fanny pack, and that's it. It's like the lamest reward ever. So yeah, lots of Fall Guys. The store continues to be abysmal.
Yeah, I read about that.
The servers continue to be abysmal.
There was some juddering when we were playing.
Squad modes continues to be buggy as fuck because half the time you don't even get a full squad. Like the other day, the game literally said it was like 15 out of 16 starting in 3, 2, 1. I'm like, we cannot be doing this in squads. Like a team is just down from the get-go.
Didn't we
like,
win a
so
match because like an
stupid.
entire squad left? We just jumped in and we just won like that round.
Oh, that's right.
We jumped in and
We did. An entire squad just left, and so like it like started the round and then immediately said qualified. That was wild.
Happy accident.
Yeah, it keeps buggy as fuck. They need to fix that. But it's still fun to play. Obviously, because I 100% the battle pass.
Well, are you still gonna play it now that you've done everything you can offer? Almost.
Definitely, like I'm gonna hop on every day because there's daily challenges. And now
you do your dailies.
The ones that earned XP towards the battle pass. Now that I finished the battle pass, they earn me crown shards.
Ooh.
Which help increase my crown ranking, which is like essentially a battle pass that is
better.
Well, it's just consistent. Like it doesn't end. Like when the season ends.
Mm-hmm.
How is that so?
It's
almost as if Halo should.
Because the crown ranking's been around. I don't know when they introduced it, but like it has never gone away.
Oh, I forgot.
So I'm assuming they just add stuff to it if people max out on it. But if people have maxed out on that, that's insane because you have to have a lot of crowns. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I forgot to mention I played Halo co-op with my brother. And that's fucking a blast. It's fucking a blast, Gaff. It's so
Does
fun.
it work?
It works. So PC's buggy as fuck, but Xbox, no problems.
Of course it is.
No problems.
Good.
So
because who the fuck cares about PC?
Yeah, classic. Can't optimize anything. Good old Microsoft.
Right. Yeah.
The king of non-optimization. Anyway, I played Sea of Thieves as well. Fun game. And then I've been playing a lot of Tales of Arise this week. Now I know Eric said he liked this, but I feel like he undersold this game. This game's awesome. This game rules.
Did I?
Right?
I mean, it
I
was
don't
on.
know.
I was
I
on
don't
my.
remember.
It was in like my top
it?
5 on Game of the Year last year.
Nah, fuck.
Mhm.
You know,
It's top
I have a
two.
bad memory. All
Top
right.
2.
Don't worry, I do too.
This game rocks. Like it's got so far it's got a pretty like simple premise. There's like one planet of people and then another planet of people, and the Renans are on one planet, or the Renans and the Danans, and the Renans rule over the Danans on the Danans' own planet.
Like yogurt?
And like there's 5 different kingdoms, I believe.
Yeah.
Eric, is that correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, there's 5 different kingdoms, and a lord, a Renin lord rules over each one. And so like the one you start off on is like kind of like in a volcano-y area, and then the next one's like super snowy. Next one's kind of like a paradise-ish type area, which is really cool. They like kind of add a twist. Like the first 2 were just like normal, like you're taking down the Renin lord, and then they throw a twist in there for the 3rd realm. It's like, ooh, that's cool. And then the 4th one is another twist, and it's like, ooh, so we're not just doing like, it's not just the same taking down a Renin lord over and over and over again. You're kind of doing different things to acquire each lord's master core is the goal. And like the master
Fucking
core,
Smash Bros here.
the master core gives them like their special ability. So it's fucking wild. So far, my favorite kingdom has been the 2nd one. It was really dope. The guy was like essentially just capturing all the light to keep people like fucking depressed. It was dark.
Jeez.
And I like the characters so far. There's one character that's like really odd to me. Eric Law.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you meet him, he's like, I feel like he's completely different. Like after that storyline of when you meet him, like I feel like he's like kind of a serious character, and then like he seems to just turn into comic relief after that, and it's like really odd, like really really odd. Yeah. But I love the game so far. The combat is insane, like absolutely insane. It's like so hard to tell what's going on, like 80% of the time. And it's not like my favorite combat system. Like it's really flashy and cool, and there's like really cool finishers. But my main problem with it's really hard to tell like when an enemy is gonna attack you. And like if they're using a special ability, it's really hard to tell like if that's them or if it's somebody on your team using that ability, and it's just like kind of hard to dodge things. But it is what it is. It's just an insane combat system. But yeah, all the finishing combos are like really fucking sick. So yeah, really really fun game so far. Enjoying it.
What difficulty are you playing on? I just want to question you on that real quick.
I'm just on normal.
In your back
Okay,
is,
because I remember
as you just saw
playing
there, the mission gives you 2 stars, and it's sort of
I
the
believe like
tutorial where
when I
you're supposed
first
to use
picked it
the
up,
pay and
people
spray
were
system
like saying like,
to,
"Oh, normal is
get rid
too
of your wanted
easy,
level.
so
But
put
because
it
of the
to
fact that I
hard."
have a close,
But then when you get to the boss fights,
Yeah.
hard makes it so much fucking harder than actually normal battles. Like the difference between normal battles and boss battles was ridiculous.
Well, the thing is, it's so like there's enemies are so spongy.
Yeah.
Like so insanely spongy. That's another big problem I have with it. Like you just are like chopping away at these guys for like fucking 20 minutes, it seems like sometimes. Especially the bosses. But yeah,
bosses, yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, it doesn't get better.
Great.
The final dungeon, they basically repurposed bosses into normal mobs, and you're just like, what the fuck? Why is everything taking
awesome.
so long to kill?
But yeah, I am enjoying it overall a lot. I really like the story so far, and the characters for the most part, and just the kind of, it feels very like segmented, you know, Like,
Yeah.
you know, it is called Tales of Arise, so it kind of feels like that. It feels like you have one story in this region, another story in this region, another story in this region. Almost like you could tell these stories, like these separate stories with different characters, and it would work as well. But it's a video game and it's a JRPG, so you're playing as the same character throughout the whole thing. Yeah, love it so far. And then the last game is a brand new game this week, and it was Stray.
Oh yeah, you beat the whole thing.
Game. What's that?
You beat it, right?
Yeah. So I upgraded my PlayStation Plus. I just upgraded to premium for this year, so whatever. So I get all the benefits. There's a lot of games on there because they have like the a lot of the Assassin's Creed games on there. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Stray, I finished it in like 2 sittings, I think.
Is that short? Or is that good?
Yeah. It's both.
Yeah.
Never wanted to set it down. The only reason I didn't beat it in 1 sitting was because I had to go to work. So
work.
It's like I probably played 4.5, 5 hours maybe.
Wow, that is a short game.
Yeah. Well, like I would have paid. I don't know what they're selling this for.
I think it's $40 or 30.
Like I would have
around that area.
I would be happy with my purchase if I purchased it for like 40. But definitely not like full price because it is shorter. But I love this game. Annapurna does not miss. Just like you're a cat. Like you just
You're
a cat. It's fucking awesome. And I really appreciated that it wasn't just like free roam. Like climbing on shit, you had to press like X to jump up to a thing, and then you couldn't just like fall off something. Which was cool because cats are agile, so they're supposed to be able to like climb on stuff. So that helped. Because if you had free movement on everything, it would have been chaos. But yeah, it tells like a pretty simple story. There's a couple moments where I'm like, this should have hit harder, but loved it.
But there are emotional beats, right?
There are definitely emotional beats. I never like cried. This game did not bring me to tears. Granted, I don't have a cat. I am really not a cat person. I don't like cats.
So you're saying I'd love this game? Is what you're
the
saying.
Only cat I do like is like my best friend's cat.
And it's on PC as well, right?
That's because she acts like a dog. What?
It's on PC as well.
It is on PC.
Yeah, it's on PC.
Yeah, because I think I'd like this game. Might wanna try it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very fun. Well, I don't know about fun. It's fun.
Good.
I had a good time. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. And like the world they introduce you into, I was like, I would just make sequels in this world. Like, come on, let's do it.
Stray 2.
It's
cool.
really
no longer
interesting.
Stray.
It's a really interesting.
Too fast, too stray.
Yeah, Too Fast, Too Stray for co-op.
Yeah. No. I tweeted my idea was it's called
Bark.
Stray Together. And it's like TWO gather. And
okay.
It is it's a sequel where you are back. So at the beginning of this game, you like get separated from your family, like your other cat family. And so Stray Together is you're back with the cat family, and or like you find some other cats or some shit, or it's like completely separate and it's just a group of different cats, and you can play up to 4, maybe just 2 people, co-op. One is one cat, one is the other cat, and it's just like It Takes Two, but you're cats.
Innovative.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Elevator pitch accepted. Here's your $1 million contract.
It's co-op only. You have to play co-op like It Takes Two.
Okay. Yeah, now you have me. Is one of you like a bigger cat and one of you is a smaller cat? You have to have a
Yeah, I guess you have to have something that separates you, huh?
Yeah.
Well, no, in this game you get like a little backpack that gives you like that this robot goes into. So maybe you get like a backpack. One's got like a grappling hook or some shit.
Or one of you is feral, right? One of you is a feral cat, and one of you is a house cat, right? That gets put into, you know.
Yeah, there will be something to differentiate the two cats for sure.
It should be put in some cat customization, right? Like make the cat that you want to be.
I agree.
No. They said they didn't have cat customization because it's not about your cat. It's about this cat. All right. And I feel that it's about this cat.
All right.
And there's Back to the Future reference. There's Skyrim references. This game was like made for me.
Sounds like it.
It was just missing a Jurassic Park reference. And honestly, I mean, part of the whole premise is kind of like Jurassic Park, I suppose.
Yeah. Life finds a way. Or is it don't fuck with science? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah, it's don't fuck with science.
Speaking of which, like the science shit, this game a lot more gruesome than I ever imagined.
Huh.
The UV light,
a lot more like gross. Like what is happening? Ugh.
Yeah, because
I can't even imagine what.
Like I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's like an area in this game that's just like really creepy, and I was like, all right, giving me the shivers, shiver me timbers,
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I played this week.
Eric, wrap up crossplay for us.
Yeah, we're getting a little long. As always, Sam is always the longest crossplayer here.
He plays a lot of games, dude.
I talk a lot. I don't blame him.
No, it's all good. Really only been playing Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes again. Finally finished that. The Black Eagles route, finished that up. Thought it was okay, you know what I mean? Like I do think that it goes deeper into like the story than Three Houses did, because in that game you're like kind of facing off the church and like the bigger bad guys, and like in the end of that game you only face off the church, and then it's like, oh, off screen they handled the bigger bad guys, the end. And I'm like, huh, well then. But then in this game, like you kind of handle them both at the same time, but then it's like you handle, so like for those who don't know Fire Emblem, like Three Houses, you have like the three lords who are like Edelgard, who's the Emperor of the Empire, Dimitri, who's the Kingdom, and then the Claw, the Alliance. Black Eagles have you siding with Edelgard, so you like basically help her with her conquest of the country of Fodlan or whatever. And so you're going through that game. It's a little weird because I did the requirements for the secret chapter, and like the secret chapter like kind of happens right before the final battle where the three main lords get together and like help each other out to defeat like a big kind of bad. And then you do that and they're just like, huh, well, I guess it's kind of semi-truce for now since we help each other out. And then they just leave, and then you go into the final chapter to beat the church and the main bad guy of the organization, and then that's it. And then they're like, oh yeah, and then off screen is like, oh, and then Edelgard finally makes her march onto the kingdom, the end. And I'm just like, huh, so you did that twice, really?
Kind of reminds me of those like 80s movies, right, where they're like, this person went on to do this, and you're like, well, that would have been kind of cool to see.
Yeah, exactly. And so like in Three Houses, I guess it kind of makes sense because like Edelgard's route is the shortest because like I guess they were hitting like development timeline restraints, so like they had to cut it off short. And so they kind of like fix it here by having her deal with both the church and the main bad guys, but like then they don't show her fully conquering the country, and it's just like she does that off screen again. I'm just like, oh, that's really weird. Like it kind of like, and from what I read online, the other two routes are also like that, where their endings are kind of like not satisfying. Like it kind of sounds like they're setting something up for either a sequel or DLC, but like I don't know, kind of weird. But I had my like fun time with it. It did get like a little repetitive because if you know like how those Warriors games are, it's always like, oh, you're fighting hordes of enemies, and then you're doing objectives, and that's about it. And like the main missions are pretty cool, but like doing the side missions were like getting like kind of tedious. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like start beelining to the end, and that was about it. And then I did like start a new game plus to see how that is, and like it's okay. You like can carry over like all your levels and like your equipment and like support levels and stuff. But like I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna put myself through another fucking who knows how long of this game.
It's a lot of warriors, man. I don't know how much I could
Yeah, exactly.
stomach, to be honest, you know.
Like I played Hyrule Warriors, and like, once I finished the story of that, I put it down, and I feel like I'm gonna do the same with this. But like for Persona 5 Strikers, like even though that's like technically a Warriors game, it didn't really feel like it compared to like these other like Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors, where it's like a Warriors game with a Breath of the Wild or Fire Emblem skin on it. But Persona 5 Strikers kind of felt like a Persona 5 action RPG, if you know what I'm saying. Like I felt they put enough of the Persona elements in it that it felt like a Persona game. While these other two, while they have like Breath of the Wild elements or like Fire Emblem elements in it, it's still a Warriors game, and you can like feel it in that.
Yeah,
Then
I don't know. You want to see games innovate on a different way, and I guess Muso games are kind of, at least in my opinion, one of the least innovative when it comes to that kind of stuff. So
yeah, and like at first I wasn't gonna buy it. When I put the demo, I was like, "Oh shit, you're getting me hooked back into this world. You got me." And so I did it. But then after I played that, I was like, "Huh, what am I gonna do to kill time before Xenoblade this week?" And I was like, "You know what?
Ni no Kuni 2, or Ni no Kuni, not Ni no Kuni 2.
he keeps saying 2 as well. He wants to get 2 because it's the newer
Ni no
you know.
Kuni.
Like I gotta pay for that." Well, what I was playing is on Game Pass, and that is I finally went back to playing more of Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh.
Hell yeah,
And I unlocked the business management minigame yesterday,
dude.
and I was like up all night playing that shit.
It's so fun.
You know-
I was like, yeah.
You know what else you could do to kill the time before Xenoblade 3?
What?
Fight the last boss in Death's Door.
Oh my god, yes. Quit all you're doing right now. Go fucking beat that game, man.
My god.
It's-
You're on the final
I'm too
boss.
rusty.
No,
I'm too
you're
rusty at this
fine,
point.
dude. You'll pick it up right away.
Oh,
Look
that
at
game's
it.
easy to
I'm too
relearn.
rusty.
Oh
Game's
my
easy to
gosh.
relearn, bro.
I'm gonna start like making a Word doc with all the excuses that Eric has.
If you could see like all the games I have installed on my Xbox, you'll be like,
Yeah.
damn.
Same.
I'm starting making a list of all the games that Eric says he's gonna play and then doesn't.
But like also,
That's like all of us.
my
though.
Game Pass expires in like 5 days. I'm like, shit. Well, I want to wait for that like $1 for a month's deal so I can like stock up on stuff and get it cheap.
I can't remember. Is there any incentive to stay in Game Pass subscribed other than the benefits of it, right?
No.
Like I know
No.
I know there's like a weird like colorized metal system pin that you get on your profile.
I
Is
don't
that
even
just
know
for
what the fuck that's
insiders,
about.
Gaff?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's
actually.
there's pin systems for being an insider for so long, I think. And they're different
know- yeah, I
colors
know what
based
you're
on
talking
the
about.
different amount of years you're in the insider system. So you'll see on their like picture profiles like 2 or 3, or like some of them have like 6, I think, depending on, and they're different colors, and they're kind of neat, something to show for your loyalty, right? It would be interesting to see if they had like that kind of thing for Game Pass. I don't know.
But yeah, with playing just fucking up all night playing the fucking business management fucking mini game. Cause you can get like apparently you get like a lot of money off of that shit. And I'm like,
Yes, you can.
yeah, you know what? Let me just fucking bang this out. You know, I just hit the top 100 in the fucking stock area, so working my way up on that. Also unlocked the ability to like change jobs, which I thought I already had for Ichiban. I guess not though, but I have unlocked it for everyone else. And I have a little gripe because you can't change your jobs in the menu. You have to go to a specific part in the world to go change your jobs. I'm just like, that's a weird quality of life thing that you should have been there. It's a little weird. Yeah, but like
Agreed.
I guess like they contextualize it because fucking
concur.
Yakuza is like,
just
like
thinking
yeah,
about-
like they make it like they try to make it like an RPG in real life basically, which is like a little weird.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about all the quality of life things that Xenoblade 2 is missing.
Yeah.
that is a very fair point, dude.
I mean, Yakuza came out like what was it 2 years ago already? At this point,
yeah. Well,
and Xenoblade came out fucking 5 years ago. So
Yeah.
one
They
of
haven't
these
changed
things
shit.
is not like the other.
Sam's just mad.
He is mad. He is mad.
Yeah, because that game sucks.
Oh, what? Yakuza sucks? Or Xenoblade sucks?
No, Xenoblade 2. I haven't played Yakuza like a dragon.
Xenoblade 2, if
I haven't played The Lad.
The Lad.
God damn it.
Like-
But yeah, also my fucking Game Pass ends soon. I'm just like, shit, should I just fucking buy Yakuza outright so I can keep it? Because like, I don't know.
Discount. A little bit of a discount.
I was looking in the store. You know what's fucking weird? The base game of Yakuza Like a Dragon is like still full price, but like there's a sale going on where the deluxe edition's like $24. I'm just like,
Heck
why the
yeah.
fuck would I just buy the
All the
deluxe?
time on the
deluxe
Do
PlayStation
it.
Store. It's so
Jump on that
stupid.
shit.
Especially if
See,
like you're
so
worried
it's
about them
really
getting
weird.
rid of it, man. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I might.
Because like once Xenoblade comes out, I'm fucking dedicating my time to that shit.
and
like,
that's the reason why I might get this, right? Like the deluxe edition, because I dabble in Like a Dragon, so
yeah.
good job, Game Pass.
But yeah,
So
I'm
that's
gonna
it from you.
I'm just gonna like close and talk. Like once Xenoblade comes out, Sam's like fucking begging me to once I finish that to fucking play Nino Kuni, so I might do that.
He's not
And then
begging you.
do-
You made a deal, sir.
Yeah.
Yakuza. Yeah, but he's like reminding me like every fucking week now.
Didn't start this.
Yeah,
Because if I know if I don't remind you, you'll forget and won't play it.
Forget.
No, but now do I have to like play through the entire thing, or do I just have to fucking like try it out?
You have to play. Well, I played through Xenoblade 2. All right, you know what? You have to try it out because I know if you try it out, you're
I
gonna
think
fucking
you'll
want to
like
play
it,
the whole
dude.
thing.
I really do.
So
Okay, but yeah, like that's after Xenoblade though, that's for sure.
now, Gaff, I have a question for you. What the fuck game do I have to play to get you to play damn Mass Effect?
That was the initial plan for my week off, but then a week isn't enough to play Mass Effect, so I went with Guardians.
Not if you know life
Oh,
it.
you're right. It is not enough.
It is not enough for all of them. Yeah.
I was also
Listen,
before what?
I fucking played Persona 5 Royal in 2 weeks. You can do Mass Effect in a week. Just no life it.
Gaff has other stuff though.
I was trying to fit a lot of things into my 1 week off. I also before I even landed on Guardians, I was gonna do Death's Door, but then I pivoted to Guardians. So
Good choice.
can't win.
Fuck it. You should have done Death's Door.
You can't-
Yeah, it was the better choice. I'll
Listen,
agree.
Listen, I know y'all are ragging me for not finishing the final boss, but I'm happy where I'm at. I still enjoyed the game.
Eric is
I know how
happy
good it is.
not finishing games.
I don't need to go
and
back.
Not getting to other games he promised to play. Okay.
No, no, you don't know me. Like I like finishing games, but like Death's Door, I'm just like I don't need to go back. I have like a lot of other stuff
I
to
know,
get to.
dude. I'm giving you shit. You're fine.
Can we all
Remember, I played-
acknowledge that Eric called me out for having my crossplay be too long? This fucker ran it about the fucking Fire Emblem for 25 minutes.
It's not 25 minutes. Now you're exaggerating.
What's the main topic, Gav?
So
We're
today
just
we were talking
rambling
about
on at this point.
replaying games. So what do you guys feel about replaying games? How often do you do it? What necessitates replaying a game? I'll start off with me personally. So replaying media in general, I'm all about it for movies and TV, like because I end up I'll watch it on my own and then I'll show my friends or relatives something that I think is like really, really cool. And I'll just like relive it through them. That's usually how I end up rewatching things. The notable exceptions are MCU movies. I will very, very frequently do a full MCU rewatch because I own all the Blu-rays. Well, I used to own all the Blu-rays. Now I've really fallen behind on that, but I would do a rewatch of that. And I used to do rewatches of TV shows when I had more time on my hands. Not anymore, but I would do that. But games, I don't know. Games feels different to me because games are just super long experiences that I'm always, when I play a game, I kind of always treat it like homework I'm trying to beat it so I can like stop having to worry about having to play it, which is kind of a me problem. Maybe it's a mentality that I need to get out of. But no matter how fun a game is, like it could be the best game in the world, I still feel like I need to put in hours to play it, and it almost feels like a chore. But even though it's like I'm having a super great time. The only exceptions to this game rule is I've replayed Halos a ton of times because I guess they're so short and linear. And the an upcoming exception will be Persona 5 Royal. Even though that's like the longest game ever, I'm going to replay that because of how much I enjoy it.
Not on PS5, you won't, unless you want to buy it again.
Oh yeah, there's all that nonsense. But don't worry, I'm on Series X, and we get all those goodies
Thanks, Microsoft.
with no hassle. How do you guys feel about replaying games?
Well, I have a really bad memory. We already mentioned that on this episode. So I need a refresher. So like even my favorite games, I'll forget stuff, you know? So like I've been wanting to replay The Witcher, for instance, The Witcher 3, but they
You're
refused
mad.
to release the next gen version of it, and I'm like, just waiting. Just waiting.
Is that not out yet? I thought it was.
No, dude.
They keep
the fuck?
pushing it back.
Oh
It's
no,
still
it's the
supposed to come
Cyberpunk
out
that
this
got
year.
it. Not Cyberpunk. What the fucking game was it?
Well, I
They
don't
do
know.
Oh yeah, Cyberpunk, right? Yeah, it was Cyberpunk. Right?
Oh yeah, they did do a next gen update.
Did they?
Yeah, for Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I got confused. I thought it launched on next gen, but I think it didn't.
No, it will.
It didn't. Not a specific version.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting confused with.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play The Witcher. And that's a fucking long ass game. That's probably just as long as Persona 5 Royal. So
Mhm.
100 hours plus. Fucking I replay Mass Effect, like the trilogy, not Andromeda. Like almost every year. Because I love it so much. Make different choices. I think that series just has like infinite replayability.
Didn't you replay Dragon Age, right? Like Origins?
And I don't
Yeah,
I
you
don't really
did.
play Dragon Age as much. I've actually only played through the Dragon Age games twice. The 3 games. But yeah, same thing, like different decisions being made.
Yeah.
That one just doesn't grab me as much. I mean, that first game, like the first Mass Effect hasn't. I don't think that game. I don't think the first Mass Effect game has aged as poorly as some people say, but Dragon Age Origins has aged very poorly.
Yes.
So that game's kind of hard to go back to. But I still love it. I mean, yeah, I don't have any problem with replaying games. Like I need to do it to like refresh myself, especially like when the next Spider-Man game gets a release date, I'm gonna replay through Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. I would be replaying through God of War right now, but I just played that last year and like platinumed it, and I don't. I remember like most of the story beats and stuff, so I don't need to replay it. But for like for games, it really has to do with if it's a narrative game, I'll replay it if I need a refresher, if like a sequel's coming out, or if I just want to like remember it, if it's just like kind of a solo thing. And then with like bigger games like RPGs and stuff, I'll replay it if I feel like it has value with replayability. Like
I could never.
like Mass Effect and The Witcher and Dragon Age, they all have like choices that you make, so that helps with the replayability. Skyrim, just like the different builds you can have. What else? Fucking
Any
I don't
Telltale
know.
games? Do you replay Telltale games?
Yeah.
That style, I guess. Or is that like a replay technically, or just a
So-
second playthrough? Right.
So those games, that's kind of interesting because like, yes, you make choices, but those games, the choices are like the only real like that's like the gameplay mostly is like the choices you're making. Like Mass Effect, the choices are on top of like shooting things and like the abilities and stuff like that. But like in Telltale games and like Life is Strange, I've actually only played. I don't think I've ever replayed one of them. I think I like started Life is Strange 1 over again, but then
Mm.
never finished it again.
Is it because you feel
and
that that's like your story, like choose your own adventure?
Yes. And for that, yeah, exactly. It's like I don't want to replay them because I feel like the first time I played it, those are the choices I made. That's my version of the game.
Like your canon.
I don't need
your canon.
yeah. I don't need to replay those games. Because I don't need to know like every single like, you know, result. Like as cool as it is in Detroit Become Human, you can see like the branching trees of all the decisions you make. It's like I'm not going through and like just doing all that like to unlock the different endings. That just seems superficial. Like there's no point in that. So yeah, that type of game where it's like strictly choice based, like choose your own adventure, I normally don't replay. And that's like I feel like that's probably the one
Ironic.
exception of game I don't replay.
Which is odd
Probably
because
the game
it's-
that wants you to replay the most.
Right.
What's that?
It's probably the type of game that wants you to replay the most.
That's true because yeah.
A little ironic.
Yeah, but such is life. Such is life. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I normally don't like if it's a co-op game, I don't replay it very often. I have to find like someone else to play it with, you know.
Yeah.
But like Gaff said, I definitely replay more games than I like rewatch movies and TV.
Yeah, I'm just the opposite in that regard.
Like How I Met Your Mother is like the only TV show where I've just watched numerous times, like through. Other than that, it's like maybe I'll rewatch a movie every now and then. Maybe I'll go see Finding Dory 4 times in theaters, you know?
Odd pick.
Yeah. Weird pull.
that's just one of the funniest things, like in my life that has to do with movies is that I fucking went to see Finding Dory 4 times.
Why?
I don't know, because I went with 3 different friend groups. One of them I went with twice.
Okay, that's the weirdest one.
Yeah. And I cried the first time I saw it.
Yeah, it's a
Movie's
good movie.
beautiful.
Wow,
It's a good movie though. I like it.
It's all right. Resonated more with you than me then.
I cried at the end when it looked like she wasn't gonna find her parents. It was very sad.
Yeah, then she finds them. It's all good.
One of the few
Jesus,
movies
spoilers.
I cried at in the theaters.
7-year-old movie.
Moratorium.
Is it really 7 years old? Jesus.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I have not watched it at once.
Not mandatory.
I've seen it 4 more times.
Yep. Sam Steven or Eric, what's your stance on replaying games? What's your most replayed game?
Funny you ask, because I'm the person who played fucking Persona 5 fucking 3 times. You know what I mean?
Yep, infamous for it. That is like 360 hours of your life gone.
Yes, it is. I got the fucking platinum in 1, which requires excuse me. I got the platinum in base game, which requires you to do New Game Plus, and then fucking Royal once, which thankfully that only requires 1 playthrough for a platinum.
So how
And,
many
like,
hours do you have in that game?
I have to see, but it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say, let's see. I think it was like 150 hours total for base game, and then like 80 hours for Royal. Because in Royal, I just skipped most of the cutscenes I already knew,
That's
so that kind of sped it up. So like a lot.
that's like half a playthrough on Skyrim. Come on.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And then like at this point, I don't even know how many times I've played like Kingdom Hearts 2, because like
Oh yeah.
yeah, that one's like fucking. I played the original on PS2. I've played it on emulators. I've played the fucking Final Mix on PS4. And I'm missing probably like a few times as well. So there's that. And then
I don't know what is it about. What is it about? I feel like those games have a lot of replayability, but I'm not really sure why.
yeah, I don't know. It's like
Because like there's nothing.
Because you forget half the story beats. There's so
No, it's
much
not-
in that story,
not
dude,
that.
to keep track. There's a lot.
I
to
think
keep
it's the
track of.
combat, because the combat's just so good in that game. Where
Yeah.
especially in Final Mix, where you have all those fucking like new abilities, new bosses, and all that stuff. Where it's like I just want to keep coming back and playing this game.
See, I've replayed 1 the most. I fucking love Kingdom Hearts 1, so
Yeah, I've
I
also
don't
played
know.
that like a couple times.
Like I don't know what it is about those games that I like replaying, but something.
Yeah, like I think they're like one of like the best action RPGs on the PS2. So that like
Yeah,
pretty helps.
nostalgia.
Yeah,
and they're
and then
accessible. That's the other thing.
yeah, they're on like everything at this point
Yeah.
except Switch if you want, unless you want to play on cloud. But there you go. Now, would you consider a live service game as replaying? Because technically,
No.
you're going to play the game
No.
again.
Not if you're
Okay,
like
I don't know.
not. Are you? I'm assuming you're talking about Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, because I take breaks from that game every now and then, like come back when they do
Yeah, but
major
you're, like,
patches.
doing
so-
No, but there's something new
You're not
every
like-
time.
You're not like doing
Okay.
the same.
I would
Like-
say, here's my
Like you can't replay WoW.
yeah, here's my stance on that. I would
You
think,
can make a new account.
yeah, if you're making a new character, I feel like that does
Okay,
kind of count.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
'cause,
as much as I love this game, I'm not making a new character.
right, but you know what I mean, right? Like, yeah,
The
there-
hours of story that game has.
yeah, that's how I feel about Destiny, right? Like, I'm not gonna make a new character, but technically, I am replaying a lot of missions. I am replaying some of the campaigns even because there's a reason to go back and do it that way.
Yeah, that's what that was like. I was like asking because like technically like you're also replaying like dungeon stuff, like grind for currency or materials to like get your gear up or level up and stuff like that. So, but if that doesn't count, then yeah. One game that I will say that I'm probably never gonna go back to. It's ironic because it's getting re-released this fucking year. Is The Last of Us Part 1. And that's not because I hate the game. I fucking love the first game. It's just that something about that game, I'm just like, I enjoyed my time with it, but I never want to go back to it.
It's oppressive.
Maybe it's just because like I don't want to.
I'm
I
100.
think the full,
Ruin-
full $70 price tag might help with that too.
Well, not even like talking about that. Like even the remaster on PS4, I never went back to play it because I'm just like, I don't want to ruin my. I guess it's like nostalgia glasses where like you don't want to ruin your perspective of the first game, and like that game fucking stressed me the fuck out when I first played it, and I don't want to go get stressed out again. So
I'm 100% in agreement with you. I never want to touch The Last of Us again. I don't want to play. I don't want to touch Last of Us 2 again. Like both of those games, I'm like, they were stressful to play. They were fucking great games, but I stay away.
yeah, I'm just like I had my time with it. I don't want to go back to it.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
I'm the
that's
same
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, those are like my main big examples though. Like I do like replaying games from time to time again, but like I guess I have to be in the mood for it, you know? Like I have to think about it and be like, damn, I want to go back to that game. Like right now, I'm thinking about going back to play like fucking Fire Emblem Three Houses, going back to play Fire Emblem Awakening, but like, am I actually gonna do that? Who the hell knows?
At least Three Houses, like it almost wants you to replay it because of the 3 different.
Yeah,
routes.
but I've played that game fucking enough. I put like fucking it's
more than
like
3
my
times,
most
that's
played
true.
Switch game, and like I'm like I still have one more route to do, but I'm like, do I really want to go back and do it?
No, probably not.
So yeah, like it's mostly get to be in the mood for it, you know?
Yeah. My take on replaying games, I am similar to Gaff. I almost never replay games. It's very, very hard for me to go even to like amazing, like even remasters. I have a really hard time going back and replaying just because, like you said, Eric, I have a certain experience of these games growing up and I don't want to like ruin them, right? Even like remakes are a little different because it's not the same game, right? Usually there's things done to make it better. And yeah, I don't know. The thing I do a lot more though is like I'll have 1 or 2 that I play every now and again, like my games of all time kind of thing. The Witcher 3, I've played through 2.5 times now. I say half because I stopped playing midway through playthrough because I heard of the next gen announcement. So I'm gonna restart my playthrough all the way through for that one, just because.
Oh God.
I love the game. You know, like there's so many things that can differ each playthrough. So, I'm not gonna collect all the Gwent cards because fuck that. Like, fuck that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a lack of commitment.
Look, I love
to
Gwent. I love Gwent, but I loved it a little too much, too fast. You know.
Yeah, I already did that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that again either.
That one is one that sticks out. Fallen Order, I've played twice now. And I'll probably replay it again just because I'm similar to Sam in a sense where I do forget some story beats and things like that.
Yeah. That's definitely one I'm going to replay.
Yeah.
Once the next one gets a set in stone release date.
Right. And just to get a refresher to the next one. I'll do that as what I was saying. Like I'll play them as refreshers for the next one coming out if there's been a long period of time between the releases.
And a lot of times when I do that, I don't know about you, Steven, but a lot of times when I do that, I'll if I'm trying to just replay it just like purely for a refresher, I'll just fucking put that shit on easy mode.
Yeah,
and just coast through.
Yeah, that's
just get my
with Witcher, I did for the fucking trophies, I did the goddamn hardest difficulty, right? And that definitely took a long time to get through that playthrough.
Wait, so did you 100 did you get all the achievements on The Witcher?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
fuck that. I'm never playing that game on the hardest difficulty.
It's I would not recommend it to anyone. I'll just say that. No one unless you're already committed, like in time sunk kind of thing, like way bad. I will say once you get later in the game, things get a lot easier because you have your potions and things like that.
The oils and everything.
Yeah, everything to make it much easier. It becomes a different game entirely though. And I don't think it's really made for that hardest difficulty, to be honest. Aside from that, the only other ones I do, I wouldn't necessarily playthroughs, but I say new game pluses for Dark Souls games. Dark Souls and Elden Ring. Like right now on Elden Ring, I have a new game plus, and I'm considering going back to do a new game entirely. Will I get back to it, dude? Will I get back? I probably don't know. With things coming out like Xenoblade, not now, but I definitely will replay Elden Ring at least a couple times just because, I don't know. I really have fun with that game. It was awesome.
Elden Ring, I don't think I can ever do a new game plus to that game because of how fucking huge and long that was.
Does it have new game plus or?
Well, yeah, and with new game plus, you can barrel through the bosses, man. Especially in early game, you barrel through a lot of that.
Yeah, I heard new game plus is easy because you're fucking strong as fuck.
It's satisfying
too.
So
I'm I have no need to go back.
You go and roll these fucking the first 3 big bosses I just rolled through super easy because I don't know. I was laughing at them and I changed my build to a faith build before I started the new game, which I recommend to anyone doing before they start a new game because getting the materials to rebirth waiting to rebirth when you're on a new game plus, you still have to get to that area to do so. So yeah. I don't know, man. Replaying games, pretty much never for me, but with few exceptions, right? And even when I do replay a game up before the release of something else, I don't really finish all the way through it, right? I don't go through and do everything at most, and at best, I finish the story, right? So yeah, it's just very hard for me to. Because I have a decent memory for a lot of games, especially Zelda games. I honestly haven't replayed Zelda games through, other than I think it was Ocarina of Time when it came to 3DS, just to see the new features that they did to it. So
yeah, you earlier you mentioned something about remasters, and I was kind of thinking about that while you were talking, and a lot of times unless the remaster adds something significant, I really don't play them either. Like the Skyward Sword remake. I don't know why the fuck I played it, to be honest, because that didn't really add much. I'm gonna be honest, but things like the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
I played that originally on the new 3DS, and comparing that version to the Switch version is night and day difference. Obviously the enhanced graphics, all the new quality of stuff they added. And plus the new story mode they added with Future Connected, I thought that was worth a replay in my opinion.
Well, the full dual analog alone, I think, was worth it. I don't know.
Well, the new 3DS, you can only play Xenoblade on the new 3DS.
But
they had
the little
the
nub,
which is Yeah, but like you still can control the camera on that. I don't know how the fuck I played it through there, to be honest.
Yeah, dude.
That version is ugly.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Replaying games is hard for me, I'll say.
I will add some other games I've replayed the most is like Pokemon Diamond / Pearl.
I forgot about that.
As a kid, I was like, I want to see what playing Turtwig is like, what Piplup is like. So I would start all over again. And I've replayed like Super Mario 64 on the DS. But again, this is like all when I was a child when I had nothing better to do. And
Yeah, exactly.
And now as I have more things to do, I find that replaying games just goes down on the list of priorities.
I think with movies and other media, it's easier to replay it because it's passive.
A movie's 2 hours long,
and
right?
it's passive, right?
Yeah.
You can do other things and you can be involved in other things when you're replaying other media, I think. So,
Exactly, but a game requires your full engagement.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to go back to what you were saying on that, Gaff, where like as kids, like we kind of like were at the will of our parents to buying us games, and like us having like we had so much free time that we would choose through games, and like compared to now where we have like no time, like all the money in the world to like spend on games, you know what I mean? Where we finished one game, we're like, I enjoyed that, but like there's so many other things out there now, I'm gonna move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And like it reminds me like fucking back in the day when I was a kid, for Easter, my parents bought me Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood on the DS. And if you guys know anything about that game is utter trash. But kid me somehow played that game like at least 3 times through. And looking back on it now, I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, that's kind of a thing you do when you don't have the money to buy new games, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I feel like that's like a connection there where as a kid, you're replaying more because you don't have the money to spend on new stuff.
You know what's a great game to replay is Marvel Ultimate Alliance, because there's so many different like heroes that you can play through as a different team.
Yeah.
Like mix it up.
Yeah.
That game rules, by the way.
It's great. Is it?
Yeah, I've heard.
Is it are you talking about the original or are you talking about like the one on Switch?
What the fuck do you think I'm talking about? Of course I'm talking about the original.
Okay. I
What?
had to clarify. I had to clarify, man. I had to clarify.
Now,
I feel like only
Ultimate
Greg Miller
Alliance
talks
3
about the
was
one on
all right,
Switch.
but
Hey, no, the Switch game's fun.
Ultimate Alliance
Is it?
3 is fun.
Some
And
of
my
the
friends.
hardest
It's like
hardest
super-
times I've ever laughed in a game is when I
It's-
was playing that with my friends.
Really?
It's really like grindy sometimes, and really like it's just wild, man. They were just like, you know what? Let's just make this let's make Ultimate Alliance 3, but let's just make it the MCU.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
like almost what it is, and it's hilarious. Because the funny thing is like the first two like semi connect to each other, and then you have this one which is just like 15 years later and just completely different. Yeah, no, the first game, Steven, is what I'm talking about.
okay.
That game absolutely ruled. And it's the reason I want Doctor Doom to be the next Thanos, but it's not going to happen.
It could be in Avengers Secret Wars, you know?
Doubt it.
It's all Kang, baby. Kang
most
is the new
hype-
hotness right now.
King, baby.
Also, give me Loki season 2. You know.
You're getting it.
What's
We're
happening?
getting it. No, we're not going to... We already
Yeah.
discussed the MCU.
This ain't an
before
MCU
this
show.
podcast,
Alright.
and I will not
Where's
incite
Moon Knight?
further conflict.
Where's Moon Knight season 2? When the fuck am I going to get that?
Oh, that's
Wait,
I just
wait
watched
for
Moon Knight. Am I not gonna get that for like 7 years?
Probably.
Because they're too
Wait
busy
for
doing fucking Echo. Like, who gives a fuck about Echo?
Echo has potential to be really cool, but I won't get into that. Wait for D23.
It has
for
zero
maybe some
potential
more
to be cool.
Yes.
And now
I mean,
keep an eye out for our next show, MCU
Daredevil and Fist.
X to Interact.
Or
He
post
shoots
show.
Fisk at the end of fucking Hawkeye, and apparently he's alive. He's fine.
And on that,
He
note,
survived as
Whatever.
worse. Things as worse as bad as that.
I mean, yeah. How are they gonna deal with this whole thing of like the first 3 seasons of Daredevil, and then they're just gonna make it like
it's canon.
yeah,
canon.
but then they're just then Daredevil goes to like beating the fucking living shit out of people to like
But we don't know that. We don't know that.
It's not going to be
guys.
fucking rated TVMA. It's going to be rated.
We gotta finish
If
this
Marvel
show.
Zombies
we
can
gotta
be
finish
TVMA, then maybe-
recording.
And I think this is
Fair
where we can
Yeah,
wrap
we
it
can
up
wrap
here.
it
Is all
up.
I'm saying.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of X Interact, episode 65. Be sure to follow us on all our social media, so TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and make sure to subscribe to our podcast feeds, and all this will be consolidated on podpage.com/xinteract. Make sure to check our YouTube and podcast feed every Tuesday where we post a new episode. Until then, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I've been your host, Gaff, and with me is Sam, Steven, and Eric. Goodbye.
Bye.